It's great to have Luke Winslow-King in the Roadhouse.
All right, we're going to strike it up with one here called the Crystal Water Springs. Crystal water springs, baby, let them roll right down on me. Oh, let the crystal water springs, honey, let them roll right down on me. Oh, yeah, the crystal water springs, yeah. Let that cool water fall, baby, let 'em tumble all over me. Let those cool waters fall, honey, let 'em tumble all over me. Oh, yeah, the crystal water springs, yeah. Ooh. Crystal water spray. Don't you think you're gonna miss your water, pretty mama, when your well runs dry? I know you're gonna miss your water, baby, pretty mama, when your well runs dry. Oh, you ain't gonna find no place to hide. Know them golden wings someday gonna carry me. I know them golden wings, honey, someday gonna carry me. Oh, they're gonna roll you, boy, away. Ooh. And we'll do another one. This is a title track off our new album here. This one's called The Coming Tide. Well, you better come inside for the coming tide. You better come inside
for the coming tide.
Oh, you better come inside for the fall of the coming tide. Better come inside for the coming tide. Better make your mind, baby,
for the coming tide.
You better make your mind, honey,
for the coming tide.
Oh, you better make your mind for the fall of the coming tide. Better make your mind for the coming tide. You better fall in line, honey,
for the coming tide.
Better fall in line, baby,
for the coming tide.
Oh, you better fall in line for the fall of the coming tide. Better fall in line for the coming tide. Place to hide
from the coming tide.
place to hide, honey.
from the coming tide.
Oh, you'll find no place to hide from the fall of the coming tide. There's no place to hide from the coming tide. They'll make you weep.
It'll make you moan.
They will make you weep, honey.
It'll make you moan.
It'll make you weep. It'll make you move. It'll make you wanna up and leave your baby home. You better come inside for the coming tide. You better come inside, baby.
Coming tide.
Oh, you better come inside before the fall of the coming tide. Better come inside for the coming tide. You better come inside for the coming tide.
All right, Luke Winslow-King featuring the lovely Esther Rose in the Roadhouse. Great to have you guys here.
So glad to be here with you, Greg. Thank you.
The Coming Tide, the title track from the new record.
That's right. The album is called The Coming Tide. That was the title track there for you.
And you played the first song, a song I don't know. Is that a new song?
That is. Yeah, I think that one's coming out on our next album. We're excited to be playing it for folks. It's the Crystal Water Springs.
Yeah, sounds great. Hey,
Thanks.
welcome to the Northwest. It's your first time through here.
Yeah.
Last week you played the Columbia City Theater. You played some remote locations out there on the Washington coast. You even played a rooftop party. And
That's right.
How are you enjoying our local scene here in the
Oh, it's
amazing-
great. We were talking about it earlier. We really nailed the weather this year, some beautiful weather. And we went to Portland 3 years ago, but we've never made it this far north. And we're delighted. Our first time in Washington, we got to play Long Beach, Tacoma, Seattle, Walla Walla, and also Leavenworth. So
Yeah, you're seeing everything.
we're having a great time.
Yeah,
Really enjoying it.
Good to have you here. Big fan of the new record. Been playing it a lot on my show. Definitely top 10 material, I think, for this record.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did it all come about?
Wow. Well, we kind of all met playing in New Orleans. That's Benji Bohannon back there on the drums, and my good friend Cassidy Holden playing the bass, and as you said before, Esther Rose singing. We kind of all kind of revolved around the traditional jazz and blues scene on the streets in New Orleans, and we were playing a lot of gigs on Frenchman Street and around town, and we're all really influenced by that traditional sound happening there. But we wanted to write our own songs and do original music, so we're trying to blend modern ideas with those from the older days and kind of mix them together with new material. And this is our second album as a band, and it just started to really all solidify with this one. And really excited to be out on the road promoting it.
And Bloodshot put it out.
That's right. They've been a big help to us, really helping us hit the road.
Yeah. Now, I find it really interesting what's going on down in New Orleans. And for the past 10 years or so, there's kind of like, from what I can see up from this vantage point, there's a lot of young transplants moving to New Orleans and kind of creating their own thing and their own new thing out of all the traditions and local sounds of New Orleans, past and present.
Yeah, there's a lot of young people moving down there, and it's really cool to see people keeping the old traditions alive and trying to play them as authentically as possible. Feels like at times we're just totally over inundated with young people coming there to dance and play music, which is incredible, though. It kind of comes in seasons and it comes in waves. We've kind of found ourselves surrounded by the lifers who kind of feel like, okay, we're stuck here in New Orleans for our careers and for our lives, so we're really delighted to be around young people who are really talented, dedicated musicians.
Yeah.
Take it really seriously.
And we're talking pretty much this kind of Frenchman Marigny area of
Exactly.
New Orleans, the Spotted Cat and that place, the Three Muses, and some other places that this is all going down.
Yeah, if you've never been to Frenchman Street, it's a really thriving music scene. It kind of reminds people of the old days in Storyville when the red light district and all the things, when jazz was born in New Orleans, when it was really thriving. Frenchman Street has kind of had a resurgence. We don't have any brothels there. It's mostly just food, drink, and music. But there's probably 10 or 15 clubs all within a 3-block radius that have music 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And there's usually 3 to 4 bands in a club per day. So there's just plenty of music. There's probably about, I would say, 200 to 300 clubs that have music nightly in New Orleans.
Yeah, and a lot of really promising young artists like yourself who are down there kind of doing something similar but their own thing, like, Hooray for the Riff Raff, Linda Lee Segar and Sam Doors and Machia Lake, one of my favorite singers who hopefully will make a record soon, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's funny because all of those people, we all grew up just playing on Royal Street together, there was days when all four of those people you just mentioned would be playing on the same band on the same street corner. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see everyone kind of spreading the seeds and going their different ways. Some people into country, some people into blues, other people into jazz. But all those musics kind of share a similar root.
They do.
And the camaraderie and friendship kind of keeps us rolling around
And
together.
the thing about New Orleans is you can throw a horn in there and it's no big deal. It fits right in.
That's right.
No matter what the style is.
It's true.
Now, you're from Michigan originally, I believe. And how did you find your way down to New Orleans?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town called Cadillac, Michigan, on pretty close to the Lake Michigan shore on the west side. And I left home when I was maybe 18 on a road trip with a few friends playing the music of Woody Guthrie. And we traveled all over the West Coast into Texas. And when we got to New Orleans, our car got stolen with all of our equipment in it. And I stuck around New Orleans long enough to fall in love with the place. And I auditioned for college there and went to University of New Orleans for classical music when I was there.
Great.
Yeah.
And then why leave?
Yeah, we travel all over Europe and all over the States, and I'm looking for a place better than New Orleans, but I just can't seem to find it. So
Yeah,
I
I
guess
hear
we'll
ya.
stay there until then.
Yeah. This is Luke Winslow-King. How about another song?
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to do one. This one's off the record, The Comin' Tide as well, and this one's called You Don't Know Better Than Me. Torn and tattered, strewn around like it never mattered. Storms are scattered that day. She said you don't know better than me. Mold and scold you, a big surprise like they never told you. Wind blew up the coast that day, crying out you don't know no better than me. Child, you don't know better than me. No, you don't know better than me. And if there's one thing that I can clearly see, it's that you don't know better than me. Shame and blame you, they'll cut you down, but they'll never name you. Think a voice was heard that day, crying out you don't know no better than me. Child, you don't know better than me. No, you don't know better than me. And if there's one thing that I can clearly see, it's that you don't know better than me. Cane and stone you, they'll beat you down, but they'll never own you. 30 years in a prison cell, crying out you don't know no better than me. Child, you don't know better than me. No, you don't know better than me. And if there's one thing that I can clearly see, it's that you don't know better than me.
All right, great to have Luke Winslow-King in the Roadhouse. Big fan. I love the record. Thanks for being here, Luke. What is that song about? Who's that song directed to? Is that you toward Esther or Esther toward you, that song there?
It's actually written from 3 different perspectives, or 4 different perspectives from different people. One of them's kind of me. I actually was inspired by the struggle of Nelson Mandela in that song, actually. And it's also directed towards my ex-girlfriend who once screamed in the night, "You don't know better than me," really loud.
I think we've all heard that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
is that a resonator guitar? And then what about this amp? This,
It is,
this
yeah.
this Gibson Falcon amp.
Yeah, this is a National Delphi
Mhm.
model. It's a resonator guitar, round neck dobro. And I'm playing a 68 Gibson Falcon for my amp.
Cool. You know, I always have to ask, those who are like-minded and kind of enjoy the vintage side of life, how did you get into vintage music and gear and I guess lifestyle to a certain extent?
Yeah, I guess I never really just decided to get into it. It was kind of a gradual process. I was always into Robert Johnson and Charlie Patton when I was in high school. I was really into vintage rock and roll through high school, Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. And then I guess when I moved down south, I kind of started tracing the roots of the music back to Jelly Roll Morton and learning more of the contemporaries of Robert Johnson and Charlie Patton and the blues guys down there. And I don't know, you're kind of surrounded by it when you're living in New Orleans, and I've just always kind of been into people's music and hearing folk music that was created for and by people that could kind of tell the story of a time and place when people lived back then. So it's it just kind of happened to me. I never really sought it out, and it just always piqued my interest. So.
Yeah. What neighborhood are you living in down there?
I live in the Bywater neighborhood, which
Mhm.
is just a block from the Mississippi River, right by the levee there.
Yeah. You've been on the road quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been on the road about 9 months of this year. We've been to 46 of the continental United States.
Yeah. How's the reaction?
It's been great. It's been great. The shows are getting better and better all the time, and we're seeing bigger audiences and selling more records and doing
Cool.
more radio shows like this and getting to meet a lot of people. So
Yeah.
we're really pleased to see. We're really glad to have Bloodshot Records assistance on the road and just meeting a lot of wonderful people and seeing a lot of
Yeah.
great places in between. So.
I think you're great. So I think
Thanks,
just
Greg.
keep
I
on
appreciate
doing
it.
it.
You're
Just-
great
just
too,
don't
man.
don't
Thank
change
you.
a thing. Hey, you're going to be back home in October, probably doing nothing for a period of time, I hope. And I'm just
We're
wondering.
trying to, yeah.
Yeah. So on those rare days when you are home and you are in New Orleans and you wake up and there's nothing to do, there's no show, there's no gig, there's no tour. What is the perfect New Orleans day for you?
Well, we wake up in the house, and Esther and I live together, and Esther's also a seamstress. So usually it starts out with me either playing piano or clarinet in the morning, having a nice big breakfast. We go run at the New Orleans Athletic Club. That's part of our perfect day. Esther's making ladies' fashions in the front while I'm maybe practicing some satie on the piano or like butchering a George Lewis solo on the clarinet. And Mr. Okra cruises by and is selling, fruits and vegetables out of his truck, and you can hear the steamboat whistles out on the river, and you can see the Carnival Cruise Line come down, and you see the big whale tail from the river floating by. And our neighbor, Marcel, who thinks he's Michael Jackson, comes by and does a couple dance moves and asks for a big tall glass of water. And
And then what are you going to eat?
what do we eat? Man, what's that?
We go to Cake Cafe.
Yes, we go to the Cake Cafe once in a while. Yeah, go get a crab omelet in the morning, crab and brie omelet in the morning. And we go out for New Orleans food, but when we're home, we probably just make a big salad and hamburgers with no buns.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what we'd have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great to have you here. This is Luke Winslow-King. How about one more song?
Sure, we're gonna do an old classic for you if that's all right. This is one of our favorite ones to play by Mr. Booka White, Bukka. This one's called the Jitterbug Swing.
Oh, you pretty women, I wanna do a jitterbug swing. Oh, you pretty women, I wanna do a jitterbug swing. You do the jitterbug swing, honey. Forget all your troubles and everything. Yeah. Oh, you know on, let me follow you back home. I know you got some rounder laying back in your arms.
Oh, let's go ahead and do the Jitterbug Swing.
Oh, you pretty women, gonna do the Jitterbug Swing. Oh, you pretty women, gonna do the Jitterbug Swing.
You do the Jitterbug Swing, honey. Get all your troubles and everything.
All right, Luke
All
Winslow-King. The album's called The Coming Tide. It's on Bloodshot. It's relatively new. Highly recommended. Top 10 record of the year, I think. Thanks so much, Luke, for being here.
My pleasure, Greg. Thanks for having us.
Esther, great to have you.